Hello, my peepsters. This is Day's Daily Dose TV. I'm going to do the update and recap and tell you all about what's popping in Salem. And why do I look like I'm leaning or crooked or something on here? Okay, so this is for Monday, June the 19th to Friday the 23rd, which is today. What's popping in Salem? Me snoozing. We had this week, there's just some minor things, some little undercurrent, I'm going to call them, things going on. Nothing major. I have to tell you, this week is what I call they had a lot of fill-in. That's where, people sit around and have long conversations about stuff that, we don't really care about. And it's just filling in that airtime because people are either on vacation or, I don't know what's going on, but nothing exceptional happened this week. I can tell you that for sure. So we start off Monday. Monday, Salem is celebrating Juneteenth. And it is also Abe and Paulina's wedding anniversary. So they are... How do I get straightened up here? Am I leaning? It's their wedding anniversary. So Eli comes home. He doesn't have the twins with him. And what's his name? Theo comes home. And Paulina's mother, they call her Big Mama. We've seen her on there before, and I can't forget. She's played on some other soap operas. Well, most of them have, but what is her name? They call her Big Mama, and she's like, about as big as a peanut. But she's always feisty, and she's come to support Paulina during this hard time. Paulina is struggling. She don't even know if her Abe is alive, if he's being taken care of. She don't know. This is their 1 year anniversary. A lot of anniversaries this month. Abe and Paulina's anniversary, the anniversary of Abigail's death. Don't go there, girlfriend. Yeah. Clyde Weston did not kill Abigail. I don't care what they say or how they made it out. They screwed us. Okay, we know Gwen did it. I don't care what the writers say. They don't know what's going on inside. Okay, so Abe is also struggling because he's having a hard time remembering all these things, with Whitley, wondering, I guess, why he can't remember stuff. But he does remember that this is his birthday, that this is their anniversary. So they actually redo their vows. Oh, it was it was just hilarious. They're in this little stinking apartment she's got. Oh my goodness! I tell you what, they got a couch. She's got a couch in this apartment. I swear, I have seen that couch. That couch is the couch that the woman upstairs gave to my neighbor across the street, and then when he moved out, he gave it to the person that lived behind me. This is the couch. Oh, I'm talking about when I was younger and I lived in apartments. Oh my God, that couch has been around town. Okay. Anyway, all them crazy cats, and none of them are real. None of them are real. She makes up so many stories about her cats. I love her though. She's just hilarious. I thought she had good intentions, but as we see today, Friday, and I'm going to tell you in just a minute, things are taking a turn. Okay, so Eli and Theo, they come by, they're supporting Paulina. Poor Paulina. I feel so bad for her. I want to tell you though, I seen today, Friday, she was coming out of the bedroom. She was getting Big Mama ready to go. She won't let me drive her. Anyway, I so love Paulina. Just for a second, Paulina's always dressed to the nines. If she's got on some kind of house coat or robe, from being in bed or something, it's something fancy, you know what I'm saying? She just always looks good. So she's got her pretty little dress on, and it just briefly shows down to her feet. Now, I saw on her feet, at a glance, no, they were not Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse house slippers on her feet. But what she did have on her feet, they looked to be those Skechers that you just slip your foot into. If not, it's actually some kind of slip-on sneaker. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have a drink. I don't remember what color they were. And they probably just really been catching my eye because I've been wanting to try those shoes. Because I'm older and I've got all kinds of things wrong with my spine. It's a job just to walk sometimes. And I thought, man, those shoes look all right. They're a little pricey for me. And pricey, by pricey I mean like, over $20. But I will splurge and buy some decent Reeboks for $29.99. But I'm going to splurge and get me some of those Skechers. And that's what she had on her feet. Talia's going around town. She's posting these flyers, everyone looking for Abe. And Chanel walks up on her. Well, they let you out. And they had some words. Talia is so very sorry. And if you missed my video that I made about mental abuse, make sure you catch it. I've got some more to say about that, as the show addressed it today, and I didn't know that they would actually address it as they did. But anyway, so her and Chanel have some words, just a little chit chat. Ain't nothing to worry about or write home about. Paulina revisits her wedding day, when Lonnie was also arrested on that day. The family gathers around Paulina. And those are my notes for Monday, and that's about it, because what was going on Monday was Juneteenth. Theo ended up reading the already prepared speech that Abe was going to say. He ended up taking his place and reading it, and we hear he done very well. We did hear him rehearse it to Chad. But, he was there to visit Paulina and see what he could do to help find his dad. And I've got a feeling he's going to stay in Salem until they find his dad. And I think Eli might be close to finding him. So they did spend some time. Thought somebody was at my door. They did spend some time, revisiting the wedding and over their vows and stuff. That's what I call the filler. Now they didn't spend a lot of time on it, but, most of the show was revolving around Paulina and how hard she was having it. Now, on Tuesday, June 17th, we have got, what do we have here? Oh, yes. Now, this is a little good. Lee and Megan are hooking up. They have plans, in case you missed it last week. They're going to kill Stefan. And they're going to kill him so Lee can have Gabby still. And so Megan can, continue taking over the world. And like she told EJ, we get rid of Stefan, a bigger piece of the pie for us. But she's counting out a lot of things. I love Megan. She's so devious. I love her because I remember when I remember when they were all younger, because I was younger with them, and we're all close to the same age, a lot of us, but she was gorgeous when she was young, and she's gorgeous now. Just she's got her little attitude. I love it. Okay, so their plan is she was contacting Lee today to see if he had contacted Dr. Roth. They want to bring Dr. Roth back into the fold, and Dr. Roth is one of my favorite characters. Him and Susan Banks, they are right up there as my top two. I might put Leo up there as number 3, and these are not the best people in Salem by any means. Well, Susan was pretty good. But, Dr. Roth is funny. He is just he's a funny little man, you know. I'm gonna make a little excuse me. I'm gonna make a little video of some of his funniest moments because he says the most hilarious things, and he's so serious and he doesn't laugh that I think a lot of people miss them. You know, one example is when all the girls were locked down and he was helping one in or out of their chamber. It was Kayla, and she's finally laying down and she said something. She's like, I don't need no mix to make me younger. I don't want to be younger. I like my life the way it is. And he said, I think it was Kayla, he said, well, for a woman your age, you're very attractive. Just out of nowhere. And it was the funniest little thing. And I think it was Kayla. She's, you know, I don't know, maybe it was Kate. I think it was Kayla. It was funny. I like Dr. Rolf. Anyway, I'm sidetracked again. I'm a sidewinder. I should change the name of my channel. So their plan is they're going to enlist Harris. What she wants to do is she wants to brainwash Harris again. They've had him under their thumb before. They feel like he would be easy to do that to again. And then have him murder Stefan. So Megan don't get in trouble and she can have Stefan's share of Tamara. Or at least a bigger share. Anyway, that is her plan. Leo, out of nowhere, being the crazy little wit that he is, he busts in to visit Megan. Because Megan has a plan. They have a plan. She wants her son, Dimitri, to marry Gwen. And he has to be married by the time he's 40, and he's 39 and a half or 3/4. And he gets some big bunch of money from whoever his father is. So, he's romancing Gwen. Well, Leo doesn't like it and thinks he's up to something. So he goes over to Tamara's house, goes right in the house. Everybody walks right in that Tamara house. I don't know why they keep that door locked. And, because the writers don't write it in. That's why. So, he's over there getting on Megan, telling her that he's not going to stand for her son doing, you know, treating Gwenny bad or whatever. You know, he had his little say-so. And, they had their words. And, you know, he left. Gwen and Dimitri. Is this already the second date? I gotta see where I am. Well, I've got on here they went downtown. And I'm not going to tell you what that means, but if you're an adult, figure it out. They did some kissing, and next thing you know, I'm pretty sure they went downtown. So, her and Dimitri. Dimitri has already apologized to her. He told her it was just love at first sight. He never felt like that before. Of course, his plans was to marry her and get all his money, but might he have real feelings for Gwen? I mean, I'm not a fan of Gwen, you know, the way she treated Abigail and then murdered her. Although you can't get the writers to admit that crap. But, I still hate to see her get in a mess like that. But, you know, she deserves what she gets. You know, she's just a little witch in a box. So, you know, rock on, Gwen. So, they went downtown. Abe confronts Whitley, the cat lady, about renewing their vows. And, oh, no, not about renewing their vows. I wrote a note. Abe confronts Whitley, the cat lady, of things he don't think's right or whatever. They had a bunch of talking, and I can't stick with the storyline. It bores me too bad. So, it's just so stupid. I mean, if they just, I just can't even deal with it. It's so stupid. Just to grab little Abe and throw him in some kind of big mess, like all of a sudden there's somebody after Abraham. You know, if it's not Clyde or Orpheus or Stefano himself, then, you know, the Abester should be fine. I don't know. The cat lady renews her vows with Abe. Paulina continues to be stressed, and this is one of the reasons I want to put Leo on my top 3 of my favorite characters, and it is I wrote this down because it's funny. he calls Megan. He says, "Listen, Miss Mustache Twirler." She doesn't have a mustache. She's not twirling nothing. Oh my God, he cracks me up. He's just so off the wall. Okay. And we do see Wednesday where Dimitri proposes to Gwen, but we don't see her answer him yet. So as far as we know, we don't. We don't know. And that was on Tuesday, June the 20th. I think I said the 17th. Then we go to Wednesday, June the 21st. What's happening there? Oh, yeah, Wednesday. We spend a lot of time on Wednesday. Well, I don't know what I got wrote down. Yeah, there is a lot going on Wednesday anyway. Kayla and Patch are, together, living back at home. Well, I guess they already were, but we see Stephanie there so much by herself, it's hard to say. They spend a lot of airtime on Wednesday, just them two hanging out, eating pizza. You taste this slice of pizza that I got with the stuff I got on it, and I'll taste this one. Just a little dumb. It's filler, and I love Patch and Kayla, and it couldn't even hold my attention. I don't give a shit who likes what pizza, man. Let's get back into the game here. But, they sat at the table for what seemed like hours talking, and it just kept going back to them, and they're laughing and just enjoying each other's company, yada, yada, yada. We got real stuff going on here, man. Why aren't you out looking for Abe? Well, he's taking a break. That's what he's doing. And then, okay, so if you remember that guy, what Alex got fired over. Alex now works for Brady at Basic Black, which is owned by Demera. So, you remember the guy that Alex and Stephanie met with? All Alex had to do was get him to sign a paper. But he had already done a little bit of research. And Alex made the comment of saying, Maggie hadn't been doing this very long. And he decided, that Maggie was a little bit outdated and he wanted something more upbeat. And that's what he's trying to tell Alex. And Alex is trying to switch things around to get him back in. And just when he does, Stephanie's telling him, you better stick to what Maggie's told you to do. So he did, and that guy said he didn't want any part of Titan. He was just done. Wasn't nothing he could say. He just walked off. Alex tried to chase him and everything. I don't know if you remember that. Well, that same guy just made a deal with Alex over something for Basic Black that was a big, big deal, and they were separating. Well, Maggie gets wind of this, and she's super pissed because she thinks that Alex just used their company, Titan, to take him away from Titan. She thinks he took that man, whatever his name was. I got a name for him. He was not a nice person. But she thinks that he stole him from Titan to go to Basic Black, and Maggie is fired up. And I want to tell you, I've always loved Maggie. Who doesn't love Maggie? But I'm sitting there thinking, I'm just a little sick of her. She's really got her head situated up under her neck. That is where her head's supposed to be. She's really got her butt situated up under her neck through all this stuff. She has just turned into someone that I'm not liking very much. She's like a bully, a boss, So, she comes to Basic Black and she's popping all over Alex. And Alex just flat out has to tell her, whatever the dude's name was, I called him sawed off something, okay? Because, anyway, Alex told her, he said he doesn't want to work with Titan, Maggie, because Titan is a dinosaur. Maggie's just, she's just having a fit. And she's like, so you're okay with working for the competition? And he's like, I tried to work for Titan. And she said, and you fired me. And she said, yes, but I tried to hire you back. And he said, I had already accepted this position with Brady. And she said, what about you, Brady? Are you okay with working with Alex, knowing he stole something from your own family from our own family. And he said, this is the first time hearing about it, Maggie. Of course, he did talk to Alex about that later. So, he tells her that it's Titan is a dinosaur and business is business. And he said, of all people, Uncle Vic will understand that. Brady and Alex, they both took on Maggie. Even Brady was standing up like, well, you had already fired Alex by the time I brought him over here for this deal. So, but it don't matter. Maggie's determined to take her problems out on everybody else, it looks like. Chad and Stephanie have dinner and talk about getting their own place. Because Stephanie's like, I really need to be moving out of my parents' apartment. And Chad said, I've been thinking the same thing, that me and the kids need to get our own place. Doug and Julie and everybody has been a big help to Chad when he needed them, and a big support for the kids. But he said, we need our own place. I can't go back to my home because that's where Abigail died, and I don't want those memories and don't want them for the kids. So Chad and Stephanie are talking about getting a place together. Woohoo! That looks good. So Maggie decides she's going to offer Chad the job at Demera because she wants somebody young and innovative and somebody that can kick Alex's butt. So she comes over and interrupts them and their dinner and stuff, and she finds out they're going to move in together and stuff, and she's so excited for him. And Chad says he'll think about it. But he already has a job that he likes. So, I don't know. I think he might take it. Anyway, Maggie sees Alex again and has to rub that in his face. Oh, she sees him in the square, and she just can't help her little smart-ass self. She has to walk up to him and say something. She's so ticked off that he went and is working for the competition after she really just cut his wings. She wouldn't let him do what he needed to do at Titan. She thought she knew best, and this time she just didn't. She needs to get with the program. And I'm about sick of her bullying people around. Maybe she will have less airtime after they find out Victor died. Who wants to see that kind of grump all the time? It's bad enough we have to put up with Trask, who showed a human side this week. Okay, Maggie accuses Alex, of purposely. Now I said Maggie's butt is in a big knot. And that is that for Wednesday. And they also go back to... Yeah, they also go back to Patch and Kayla, at the end of Wednesday. So other than that little dust up with Maggie... Wednesday was a drag as well. A lot of filler. A lot of excess stuff we didn't give a crap about on Wednesday. So Thursday, Bonnie, who couldn't keep her mouth shut if she was paid to, they made her so much more airheady than... She's always been an airhead character, no matter who she's playing. She's played several people. And I've never had problems accepting her playing several people because I don't know why. I guess I don't know what the deal is with her. I don't pay that much attention to her, I guess. She's kind of in and out a lot. But she's had very significant roles. So Justin, agrees that he will not tell Xander, but he's been in that situation, and he does not like that Sarah's not telling Xander she's pregnant with his baby. Bonnie tells Sarah, she calls Sarah, and she tells her that, she was doing the best she can at keeping the secret, but she did tell Justin, and he's having a hard time keeping it, and she said, I can tell you that I won't tell anybody, but I can't promise you about Justin, and I think you need to just come home, tell Xander about the baby, before it's too late. And she's like, what are you talking about or something? And she told him that Xander and Chloe were seeing each other. And Sarah's like, really? Well, that can't be serious. She can't stand him. And then she told him, well, they've moved in together. They're living together. This was devastating for Sarah, and she had an issue with it. And when she got off the phone, Rex was like, so it's bothering you, huh? And she's like, no, he can see whoever he wants to see. We're divorced. But so can I. And then she just grabs Rex and kisses him. So she's trying to use him on rebound, and he tells her he's not up for that. He'd love to have a relationship with her, but, he just really don't want to be used like that. Oh, Sarah, she's another one, man. She thinks she's better than everybody else. Her and Bonnie, you can tell they're related. Brady and Belle have a conversation. Well, Belle visits Brady at Basic Bike, and Alex goes out to celebrate, and she's like, I have something I have to talk to Brady about. And he said, so what do you have to talk about me about? Kristen? And she said, yeah. So, Kristen's going to try to get custody of Rachel again. And Belle's trying to tell him, she's like, I overlooked the ruling and everything. I mean, it's iron closed shut. I don't see any way that Kristen can get at least full custody of Rachel. But Rachel's old enough now to talk, and she might talk and say she wants to be with her mommy. And since, as far as we are concerned, the days of our lives, people don't have any kids because we rarely see the kids. Unless it's around Christmas and they're getting sung to in the hospital, or it's Halloween, or they're having some kind of celebration that people bring their kids to. Then all the kids will be there. But, they do have to follow all kinds of special rules when kids are on set, depending on their age. If it's a baby, it's really a lot of work. So, anyway, he said, well, have you heard from Kristen's lawyer? And she said, no, I have not. And he said, so what is Kristen up to if we haven't heard from her yet? Well, then it took me back because they put so much filler in between storylines. They drag out the stories. They get you hooked in one, and then they go start another story and put it in the middle of it, and you don't see that other story for another week. That's what's happened here. Kristen and EJ are still locked in the basement by Megan. That's why I guess I got a little annoyed with the whole week this week. I'm like, you didn't give us this crap when we got real stuff going on in the DeMera basement. It was just boring. But, I don't sit there and watch it if it's boring. I just can't do it. I have to get up and go to the bathroom, go grab broom, sweep the hallway while it's on or something. I have to do something. I can't stand being bored. Maggie is driving the bitch basket this week. We'll give that to her. Okay, so was that all of Thursday? I think it is. Okay, so Friday. That was today. Trask, Belle and Talia go in to talk to Trask about, giving Talia some community service or something. And Trask is bent out of shape, and she said, I've been thinking about it, and I've looked over the evidence, and, your own sister testified to what you did. I'm not going to give you any break. And Belle's having a fit because they done made an agreement. She said, I just can't do it. But Belle says, well, I have something here that might change your mind. And she laid this file on Trask's desk. Okay, so she pulls back for Talia. And she pulls back the deal that she had promised Talia. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to tell that whole story. But, Trask is like, what is this? And what it was a report from Marlena about how Talia had been abused by Colin, mentally manipulated, And I mean, he really did a job on her. He did such a bad job on her, I just want to just slap her silly. You know, and I knew she was in an abused relationship, but I just kept thinking, you just can't be that dumb. But it's not about being smart or dumb. Anyway, so it turns out that Trask was abused herself. And she shares that little story with Belle and Talia, and then she agrees to some changes for Talia where she doesn't have to do time. She has to continue her counseling with Dr. Evans. She has community service. She might have to wear one of them ankle bracelets or something. I don't know. There's something else. There was like 3 things, so that's good for Talia. But I mean, she played a good abused person, that's for sure. Eli walks in. He's going down. He's going to help see if he can't help Rafe out in trying to find Abe. So he walks in on Rafe and Jada, and she just has her hand on his and pulls it back. So he sees that. Well, Rafe and Jada have been up all night trying to figure out what happened to Abe. So Rafe sends Jada home, and Eli confronts Rafe about it, and he said, well, there's nothing we can do about it, that new rule. And he's like, oh, man, yeah. So, you know, he's like, well, me and Lonnie did it. And he said, you all were partners. I'm her boss. That's a little bit different. So I hope they do get together, because I think they'd make a good couple. Whitley tells Abe that she has good news for him because he starts questioning her about things. Things are slowly just flashing back at him. And she tells him, your son Theo's in town. And he's like, what? Well, why didn't he come here? You know, he's starting to piece things together a little bit. So Whitley goes and gets what I call the fake Leo, which is some little boy that apparently she helped his mother or grandmother when they were in the hospital and changed some codes so they wouldn't have to pay a big hospital bill. Plus she paid him, I guess, good money to come over and pretend to be Theo. So she's like, yeah, I texted him, he should be here anytime. And then you hear the knock at the door, and you're like, what is going on here? Because Theo was just in the pub talking to Kate, I think it was, and he got a text, and he had to run out the door. And at the same time, you know, Whitley is texting somebody, so you have to wonder, is the real Theo going there? But of course, it's not. So fake Theo was just a nice little boy, nice young man. And he goes in, and he's trying to pretend to be Theo, and then he has to speak to Paulina out in the hallway. So then he's telling Paulina, you didn't tell me it was the mayor. You know, and he's like, he's just a nice guy. I don't want to try to fool him or anything. This isn't going to help him. I'm confusing him. So the boy was really having an attack of consciousness. And then she gets a call from Eli, who wants to see her down at the station. Because she was one of the witnesses in Abe's disappearance. So she asks fake Theo to go sit with him. And he's like, I just don't feel good about this. She's like, look, I've already paid you a lot of good money, and I'll give you $100 more. I won't be more than an hour. So he's like, okay, and he goes in there to talk with Abe. Actually, today, Friday, ended with, he said something to Abe that Abe didn't think was quite right, and he was giving him a look like this, and then it goes off. It was just even a stupid ending for any episode. But, so she's got the fake Leo in there. She goes in to talk to, what's his name? Eli. And because he sent Rafe home, and he's just going to go through all the information that they have while they both rest up. You know, fresh set of eyes. So, what was I saying? Shoot. So Eli's talking to Whitley, and she's like, well, I already told the other officers everything I know. I didn't see a thing that day. And he said, well, I don't guess you did, since you weren't here. And she looked at him, and he said, well, your chart says you left early. Why did you do that? Where did you go? And she said, oh, yeah, I was getting a little cold or something. I think I got a fever, and I don't want to make any of my patients sick or whatever she said. So I left, and he's like, that's not in your file. And she's like, well, I didn't think I had to mention that. He's like, okay. So he's questioning her. Chanel is talking to Paulina, and she tells Paulina she saw Talia out in the square putting up posters about Abraham. And so Paulina just asked her, she said, Chanel, are you wanting to forgive Talia? And she said, I don't know, Mom. She said, he was abusing her. He was manipulating and making her do everything she did. But I don't think I can. To be honest, I didn't write it down. But I don't even remember exactly what she said to Paulina. She is rolling around her head. She would like to, because she was making up an ad to get another worker at the bakery. The bakery got approved to be opened again today. So she was kind of rolling it around in her head. She said, I don't know. She said, I still can't, forgive her for all the things she did to you and to our family, even though I know that he was making her do stuff. So, yeah, at the very end, Abe realizes that he's not Theo. That's what I wrote. So, that must be what it is. That's about it for Friday. There was some filler with Kate and Jada chit-chatting for a long time, because now Kate's on this big thing. She's trying to go around telling people she did it to... Who did she do it to the other day? Eric with Sloan told them they should just go on and have a baby. Because you're not promised tomorrow, and that's what the Bible says. That's not what Kate said. But, she's like, life's short. Don't put something off. And she was pretty much telling Jada the same thing. You need to go for this with Rafe. And she's like, what about the job? And she's like, y'all can work around that somehow. She said, you should go for it. Life is short. So she's on this trying to make everybody be happy to her, because I'm sure she's just thankful to be alive. And I'm trying to see if I missed anything. I think that's it. Monday through Friday. It was really an uneventful week. I was hoping for more of the EJ and Kristen in the basement. And I'm really wondering what she's going to do with EJ and Kristen in the basement, because she was on her way the other day with sandwiches and a bottle of water and 2 trays to the basement to feed them. But she's like, I got to figure out what to do with these 2. So she's not planning on killing them. But she is planning on killing, having Stefan murdered. So I don't know. But that's what happened this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't go off track too much. And I will see you in Salem next week. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you like the video, like it. And I'll see y'all in Salem. I think I'm going to go there this weekend, see what's going on. Alright, you all take care, and I will see you next week. And yes, I would like to say about the submersible with the people that died, the 5 men that died. God bless their families. May God be with them, and may they all rest in peace. I've got some other things to say about that, but not on this video. So you all have a great weekend. See you in Salem.